junction. N89 to Europe. Shooter's hill load.
Fucking hell, bruv. I can't lie. Hybrids. Hybrids, yeah? Hi. Hybrid Enviros with ADL's own chassis. They are underestimated. For a bus, they actually generate power a lot for a bus, bro. But you know the thing with them is, the engine doesn't actually drive the bus at all. It's actually fully on the electric motors. What the engine will do though, is the engine will provide some charge into the batteries so that the electric motors can work. That's what the engine does. But yeah, that's why you don't hear the engine changing gear or anything like that, because the engine's not driving the thing at all. The engine's just being used as a power supply for the battery. Cool technology, man. Seriously. But nah, the power of electric, it's always these buses with electric motors that are like, for buses, yeah, they're actually good in performance. They're actually good enough in the performance. It's always these buses with the electric motors. The buses that rely on engines, they're shit, bruv. Their performance is shit, bruv. I don't care, bruv. But you know, some of these hybrids, all the electrics, and some of the hybrids, and all the hydrogens, they've got the actual good performance for buses, man. But the smart hybrids, diesels, their performance is wank, mate. Realistically, watching a bus go past, it's not really that impressive, innit? At the end of the day, it's not really that impressive as much as it is seeing a car shoot down at 60 or a motorbike. That's the sight. But buses, yeah, because of their design, they don't really stand out that much when they fly past you. You know? They just look too boxy. And I feel like we need to change in the design terms of buses. I feel like if we want to make our buses look less boxy and more good, there should be a lot more part linkage with other parts throughout the design. Because you see with cars, often you'll find with cars, right, that you'll find with cars often of the time, right, that there's a part linkage going throughout the whole of the vehicle's body. Like, you'll see from the lights, there'll be shaping on the wall, circulating the lights going towards the sides, then to the rear. And that's something that could be done on buses to make the designs of buses stand out a bit more. Because you see cars here, when you see cars, even normal U cars, they stand out more than the design of buses. Even when you see normal U cars like the grannies, the aunties, the ghetto beasts, the UK beasts driving in, you know, all these normal U cars, even the normal U cars, they've got shaping too. You know, that's what I like about these car manufacturers. They don't make the normal cars that ain't sporty look boring. I mean, of course, the sport cars look more fancy, but even the normal cars, they don't even really look boring like that. But when you look at buses, a lot of buses look boring like that. Plaxton President, LX400. The only part of the LX400 that I rate is the front. Apart from that, I don't really like its design. It's too plain. You know, there's a lot of older gen buses that are just so plain with the fucking design. Like, they actually look like genuine boxers on wheels. You know, I don't know why some enthusiasts are die-hard fans of them things, man. And say, oh, like, some enthusiasts, they do this thing where, like, oh, the journey was well, it's an ALX400, so I can't really complain in it, like as if it's automatically perfect because you got an LX400. Like, but nah, hear what I'm saying though. You see with cars, yeah, you'll notice in the sunlight, the sun reflects on them differently, bruv. As to when you compare it to buses, and that's because of the shaping. You don't see no car with some flat sides, but all these buses are fucking flat on the sides. And just picture how more stunning buses would look here if there was actually some more inward and outward shaping on them, a variety of that from outside. Because you know. Man, them cool bosses beast, yeah? Look at that thing. Look at that fucking thing. But nah, hear what I'm saying, though. Hear what I'm saying. If we get more manufacturers, yeah? If we get more manufacturers trying to style their buses a bit more on the sides and make parts shape and warp out on the sides a bit more like you see on cars and that, buses will look a lot more attractive, you know, because the fronts are calm on buses, the rears are alright, but it's just when you get to the sides, you know, a lot of buses, they lack identity on the sides. I'll be so real. And when you look at a lot of cars here, it's literally like you're almost looking at a masterpiece. You're looking at artwork. It's like you're looking at an art project with the way the thing's curved. But then when you look at buses, yeah, they don't really look that advanced, man. And yeah, we don't want buses looking too flashy and like not blending in with the crowd, but it's got to the point where we've had too many buses looking too plain, man. We might as well just step things up a notch and just make buses more like, because like the whole idea, right, is to make buses comfortable, yeah, for the passenger. And we also need to prioritise the driver. The driver needs to be feeling welcome before he starts the shift. the driver needs to be feeling pleased looking at what he's driving for the day, not be looking at his hefty old thing and think, oh, let me just get this job done already. You know, so really and truly, we should start making buses look a bit more fancy. You know, like, I'm not saying go over the top, but like add a bit more shaping, man. There's too many buses, they're just like near their designs. Like, do like how you see it on normal cars. Like, you see with normal cars, right? They're never too plain. Yeah, they don't look as amazing as all the sporty cars, but they don't even look that plain, to be fair. Like, you always see them with some type of designing going along, you know. And I rate them for that. But then when you look at buses, they just look a lot more boring from outside, especially. You know, interiors for buses are getting there. They're calm, but outside, you know, it needs to be worked on, man. I'll be straight up. I'll actually be straight up, bruv. You know, can't lie. Some of us enthusiasts just gas these things way too much, man. I'll be straight up with you guys. Some of us enthusiasts gas up these buses a little too much. They ain't that superior, mate. And hence why you see a lot of people saying to us, yo, it's just a bus, mate, chill out. Like, brother, buses ain't really that special, man. Like, when I look at them, when I actually deep it, buses ain't really that special, bro. But enthusiasts will gas them up for their red lines, even when buses don't really do anything at red line other than just stop revving up. At least with cars, yeah, they actually rev bounce. Buses just fall flat when they hit red line. They don't even rev up and down. They just fall flat. But when a bus hits red line, it just stays on that RPM. But a car, yeah, will jerk. It will jerk it. So I don't know what's so hyped up about buses hitting red line. Oh, raw, you got the thing to rev to literally the last RPM, which is just only 3,000, mate. Wow, claps for you. You know, certain people just gas it up way too much, man. Certain man just gas up the red lines, kick down so much, man. Like, it's not the best thing in the earth, man. Like, these men act like if a bus don't got that, oh shit, nah, I'm not pleased. Even when it's literally the same principle, it's literally shifting gears, it's revving up and down, nothing's really different. It's just a different, like, it's just a slightly higher RPM. Even when buses don't even have that much of a space to rev really that high, you know. Buses typically have idles of 7,000 to 800, you know, and their red lines are around 3,000. So it's not really that big of a deal, is it? Whereas with cars, yeah, you got cars ranging around from like around 600 to 700 idle RPMs, and their red lines are at fucking 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, bruv. You know, even Formula 1 cars a bit higher, you know. But we're gassing up all these buses for just revving up to what, 3,000? You're having a laugh, mate. You're actually having a laugh.